Why are you smiling? I mean,
Well, first let me introduce you. Why you finna cuss me out already?
okay, I ain't gonna curse.
Well, I want to welcome y'all back to the Papa Black Podcast, and to let y'all know we have a very, very special lady in the house today. She's a well-known comedy vet, so y'all give it up for Miss Barbara Carlyle.
Ooh, you could at least have the clap thing to try to
Hey,
pretend you got somebody in the studio. This a low budget podcast.
I mean, you don't hear it. I just did it.
This
You don't hear
this a P podcast.
Is that enough for you?
I ain't hear nothing.
Well, I don't know how the hell that shit work because it's supposed to damn work. I don't know. Well, oh damn all that. Well, like you the first one to ask for that, so it's my fault. I tighten up.
Okay, tighten up on that backstroke. How you
All right,
doing?
I'm good, baby. How you been?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me on.
Man, no,
I
hell
mean, you done
no.
had 2,000 other comics on
No,
before you
I
even got
haven't.
down, and you
I
wasn't
done
even
had.
going in alphabetical order.
I haven't had but about four.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted to do, I wanted to build the audience up before you came on. So you know you one of my mentors. So you know
No,
what I mean.
you don't act like it.
Well, look, before we get started, where you from, baby?
I'm from Twin City, Georgia.
Twin City, Georgia.
Yeah, deep south, somewhere between Savannah and Augusta.
When did you start doing comedy?
Ooh, I started doing comedy back, and well, I've been doing comedy all my life because I couldn't fight. But I
Right.
I was doing it in college. I started officially doing it in 77. And
1977.
yeah, I graduated in 76, but I went to college like a year later because I was
Hell,
supposed to join the military, but that was back when they was having people go on the buddy system, but my buddies
right.
didn't pass the test, so
So you
I
couldn't
wasn't
go.
I wasn't gonna go by myself. No,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, it's not funny. It's sad that they didn't pass the test, but it's
Now,
okay.
how was doing comedy back in 1977?
Well, I was on campus. It wasn't like I was hosting all the things on campus, and years later they opened a comedy club on River Street. But I made a reputation for myself on campus because people learned that they could not heckle or disturb the show because I always had a quick wit. So,
Right.
and I was going to shut it down before it even got out of hand.
So you were snapping back in '77.
Back in 77.
Yeah, nah. What made you want to do comedy?
Well, I started out wanting to be an actress, and I
Okay.
always got the lead role as an in the comedies, and I never got a huge role in serious plays. So it used to bother me, but then I realized I did have a more of a comedic flair to me,
Right.
and it panned out. You know,
So what gave you the courage to get on stage the first time?
Well, I've never been afraid to perform because,
Okay.
all during the time that I was growing up, I always envisioned myself being on television. I used to say all the time, I'm gonna be on television, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that. And I just brought it into fruition. Of course, everybody was like, yeah, yeah, you ain't gonna be, back then, it was a thing to have a black and white TV. Color TV hadn't even come out. Well,
Right.
it had, but a lot of families didn't have color TV, so we were, relegated to looking at black and white TV. And I used to watch Carol Burnett, and really enjoyed, her comedic flair. So,
Damn. What's up, Stacy? All right. Now, when did you come to Atlanta and start doing comedy in Atlanta?
um, well, I went to New York
You went
in
to New York first.
'86. Yeah,
86.
yeah. I mean, I was basically just doing comedy in like the Savannah area. Um,
Okay.
when I did come to Atlanta, there weren't many places, the comedy act, I think that's what it was.
Right.
Comedy
Right.
act had
Right.
just started. That's when Bruce
Damn.
Sherman and
Right,
all
right,
those were. They had that
right.
little improv group, and they were doing shows over there. Um, but I didn't, I didn't really stay around because I was back and forth to Atlanta. And then my sister moved to New York, and she told me to come up there because it would be better for my career. But actually, she just wanted a babysitter. So
Yeah,
I
no.
went to New York, and things just by then I had been doing comedy almost 10 years. But they didn't know I had been doing comedy that long. They thought I was just a newbie, and
Right.
it was nepotism because my sister was booking comedy at the time.
Oh, okay.
So
And see, I got my start in the comeback back in '93.
93, ooh,
Yeah,
that was a
I
year
caught
after
the.
I got pregnant. Wasn't your baby, was it? No.
No, I don't think I was.
No, you don't think you know.
I don't think. I don't, you ain't trying to
You
get no
know it
child
wasn't.
support.
No, no.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it might be mine. It might be
No, it
mine.
ain't yours. I didn't even know you back then.
And see,
I didn't meet you till Comic View days.
for real.
Yes, when you used to be on the road with Bruce, and
Yes.
that's when
Yeah.
I met you in. I think it was where was it when we went to Louisiana,
In
New
New
Orleans.
Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first time I ran into you at the hotel.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, it been
Mardi
a long
Gras.
time.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Mardi Gras. Yeah,
Yeah.
when
Damn.
Bruce was hosting.
Yeah, and I was the only writer he had.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going to 559 as well.
Yes.
And
Yep.
559 was a rough, but I never had a hard time in 559. You
Right.
know,
So you used to enjoy 559 because a
it's
lot of
not that
people
I
were scared of.
enjoyed it, but I was used to people trying to um, break me because when it comes to female comics, they always try to get you to not shine, and I wasn't having it.
Right.
I
Damn. So
knew
it
I knew.
was. So you was going through it back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. I mean, we
Yeah.
still go through it as female comics, if they don't think you a sex symbol, it ain't got nothing to do with
Right.
them.
Right.
With a lot of them, it's about how you look, how you dress, and how you say what you say. But they are threatened by women who can stand toe to toe with the male comics.
Yeah. Like I don't seen that. Well, it's been some hilarious women.
Yes,
Some hilarious women,
quite a
and
few, and they refuse to let us headline. They refuse to, really give us our props. They would rather bring a brand new female comic in than to let you shine, and it's sad.
yeah.
But that's the nature of the game.
Right. Like I've noticed that now it's all about building your fan base first.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
we
which is
started,
thank
it
you.
was we had to go out and get the grind and
Yeah, I
then worry
mean,
about some fans.
they had the flyers out trying to
Right.
get that's promoters did their job. Now they
Right.
want us
Right.
to do their job.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
ain't about that life. I'm
No.
not gonna bring the show and the people. What you gonna do
Right.
is count the money. Come on now. That
Right.
no.
And
Uh-uh.
that's one thing about entertainment. Everybody like to get everything for nothing.
For nothing. And even though I was out there, I loved the game more than I loved the money. And
Right. Right.
that was a detriment to my career because people started realizing how they could treat me.
Right.
Oh, get
Right.
Barbara, you ain't got to pay her that much. Oh, she'll come do it. She'll come get it for this. And I would, because I'd be like, well, I'm sitting home not making $300. I'm sitting home not making $500. Let me go pick this up. So that you show people how to treat you. And I learned that too late in my career, you know.
Right.
So
But
with
go ahead.
now even with Netflix, I'm having a hard time, telling people, trying to get people off of that. I want to pay you this. And it's very subpar when you know
Right.
that they're paying people who only did um, Comic View and Def Jam,
Right.
thousands of dollars. And I had a major platform with Netflix, and you want to still pay me the same money you used to pay me, and all I had was Def Jam and Comic View. It's crazy. So
That is crazy. Like I would think that by now you could pretty much get whatever you wanted. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And if I had handled my business the way it was supposed to be handled, I probably could.
Right,
And I will eventually, because I'm not out there mainly because of the epidemic, and mainly
right.
because I'm not settling for peanuts, and I
That's right.
wanted to get in the clubs, the comedy clubs. I don't want to do the rooms anymore because the rooms are, how the rooms are. They never
Right,
start on time. They put 4 million people up before you,
right,
wear the
right.
crowd down, and then they
Yeah,
expect you to get up and do a miracle. So
right,
I'm beyond that now. So I want to do the theaters. I want to do the event centers. I'm tired of going in a club and sitting and sitting and sitting because, the crowd gets tired and you get tired as well.
right, right.
Show's
Like,
supposed to start at 8 and you don't get on until 11 o'clock. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah. And after
Crazy.
3 hours, everybody gonna be
Yeah,
tired. You know what
everybody
I mean?
tired. Even the dishwasher, he tired. He don't want to come home. It's crazy.
And that's one thing I never understood. Like, and then the comedians, they'll complain about it, but then they'll sit there and do the same thing to you.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
pimp, why would you want to go up just because you might see a nice crowd now?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to go up, and then you won't just do 5 to 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You'll try to do your whole show,
Your whole show.
and
But
I'll
that
be
only
like,
happens in black clubs. It
right,
doesn't
right,
happen in mainstream rooms because they're regimented. They have their the timing set. You do this, you do that. They will get rid of your butt in a minute. They don't play.
yeah, yeah,
And the sad part about it is the comics know they don't play and they follow the rules. But when we get to
yeah,
the black owned clubs, they figure they can show up when they wanna. They can do like they wanna. They can run up a tab. It's I mean, sometimes we kill ourselves.
right, right.
So
And then like I never like how the comedians are just sit there and disrespect somebody while they on stage. Like they be trying to be loud, all in the back, but
mhm.
then when they get on stage, they want you to be quiet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come
Well,
on, pimp.
that's down low hating,
Right,
and it might just be the fact that you just want people to notice you and think
right,
that the comic will shout them out.
right,
Everybody wants to be important, but nobody wants to do what it takes to be important. So
right,
they downgrade you and upgrade themselves,
right,
you
right.
know.
And do you have any rituals that you do before you get on stage?
Well, I pray, of course. I hope all of us do that.
Right,
I try to go over in my head what I'm going to do. But, basically, we all got our set,
right,
but you have to think about things that might throw you or whatever. And I try to read the room. If you're a headliner, you get to see how the people react to certain jokes. So you know whether you can say certain words. If you're a true comic, and you know how to do stand up, then you will study the audience while the other comics are up there. So you know whether or not they're going to go for the harsh, words, the F words and the F bombs and whatever you want to call them. It's a matter of word change. You
right.
know, you
And
you have
then
to be able to read the audience.
And then with the council culture now, how do you deal with
But
that?
let me tell you something. I mean, comics always say, "Well, you got the cancel culture." Because the cancer culture is out there, don't mean you have to play into it.
Right,
You were a
right,
comic before cancer culture came.
right,
And who are they to cancel somebody? You know what I'm saying? If
right,
people are going to stop listening to you because of what somebody else said and they know what you're saying is funny, and um the art of comedy is subjective. It's
right,
what you think, what you feel, is your opinion, and you try to take people on a mission to believe that you have either gone through something or you know that they have gone through something. And if you can paint that picture for the people to see what you're talking about, you're doing what you're supposed to do. But people have pretended, and some of them don't even pretend, that they are so taken aback by things that it's just ridiculous. I mean, It's just crazy the way people want to stymie what somebody else does or says, but they want to be able to say or do whatever they want.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and it's you talk about freedom of speech, freedom of choice,
Right.
but my freedoms don't depend on what you think of me. My
Right.
freedoms depend on what I want to do. If you want to do this and you think this way, that's your thoughts. You can't inflict your thoughts on me and make me think the way you want me to think. Oh, um, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. Who are you to tell me what to say or not to say?
Right.
You know.
Right.
So with cancer culture, I know if people believe in you and they love your comedy and they love whatever you do, not even just comedy, it crosses over to all the genres,
Right.
singing, whatever. You know, you could sing a song and say something, and somebody got something to say about it.
Right.
People have gotten so sensitive to what
Yeah.
you say more so than what you do.
Right. Like
You won't you cancel some of this shooting, some of this murdering,
right. Right.
some of this racism. You want to
Right.
cancel that? Don't cancel a culture. Cancel what the people in a culture are doing.
Right.
You
Like
thinking
I
of the wrong things to cancel, and you can't cancel somebody. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
right.
I don't
Like
get
I seen what the lady walked up on stage on Avion Crockett.
it. Avion, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on now. I remember like I was one of the ones that used to say anything. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And I'm like, and I tell people that now, I'd be like, man, if I was to try to combat people, I'd stay on the news. I couldn't get away with the stuff that
Yes,
I
you
talked
could,
about then.
but the
I mean,
thing
I
is,
could, but
no,
it'll
but I'm saying maybe not because you weren't consistent with being out there. And people didn't see you on a regular basis. So to them, to the new people who are watching comedy that don't know, um, you know, Black Boy from it back in the day, you
right,
will be just somebody that they will say, "Oh, he's just doing that for shock," not
uh,
knowing that's been your persona the whole time.
right, right,
You're new to them because you stop. But with
yeah,
people like us that are constantly out here, we've been out here, and you know what kind of comedy we've been doing all our lives. You can't come and make me do a 180
right, right,
to please you. I'm gonna be me, and everybody ain't gonna like you. That's just one
right,
thing. And
right,
then some people, when they don't like it, they don't even know why they don't like
right. And see, like me, I gave it like 22 years of my life.
it. Mm-hmm.
And then when my work, like when I came out the road with Bruce, my work slowed completely down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't have 20 more years to get this shit to try to
You
build back
had it.
up.
You had it, but you didn't
No,
have
I
the
didn't. No,
desire.
because like in the process of me coming out the road with Bruce, boo, I lost a car. Well, I lost two cars. I lost a house,
But you could have
and
regained all that
yeah,
back.
but I
You
didn't
didn't
feel
have the
like
desire to do it.
no, because it became more work than fun. And
Okay.
I'm like you. I was having fun doing it. I
Hmm.
wasn't really worried about all that because I felt like I was building my audience at the time.
Yeah.
And I felt like when I did come out the road with Bruce, I should be able to slide over and just keep going.
Hmm.
But when I came out the road with Bruce, it was like, no, nigga, you got to start all the way back over. And I'm like, man, I don't have
But you got to think about the fact that it was more um, hating than
right, right,
trying to get you to do something, because when they felt like they could um, stop you from getting ahead, oh, they were gonna try everything they could. I mean,
right, right,
I've had so many promoters um, finally reach me and say, "Oh well, comics say they didn't have your number." And I'm like, "Comics don't have
right,
my number."
right, right,
And are you that dumb that you can't look on Facebook or any social media and try to reach me? So
right,
it's it's all kind of things. I mean, comedy became very cliquish.
right, right, right,
If you wasn't in
right,
my circle, then you couldn't do this and that. I never ran with a pack,
right,
unless
right,
I was doing like when I was with that all woman group in New York, but I still went and did comedy with other people because nobody's gonna pigeonhole me into doing what they want me to do when I have my own agenda.
Right.
And even though there are people that may be out there that will limit your career, but technically they can't stop God's progress.
Right. And
You
I
you want to get it by hook or crook. If this
right.
is your destiny, then
Right.
you're gonna get what you deserve.
Right. Like I'm more comfortable doing this than I am on stage now. Like I can go back on stage and because I've always been me. So
Hmm.
me getting back on stage is never a problem. It take me about 5 minutes to get used to the crowd, and it's like I ain't never walked away.
Hmm.
But I think with the way the rebel I am, I think it's better for me to create something like this here.
Hmm.
Because like they wanted me to change my name for like 5 years, boy, and I wouldn't do it.
Because you are a black boy.
Right. Right. And see what I asked them,
You should
like
have changed it to super black boy or real black boy.
like black was gonna be in there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's how I went to Papa Black.
Yeah,
Because I had grandkids and I was like, I can't
grandkids.
let nobody call me boy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, in front of my grandkids. So that's what really made me change my
Oh, I
name.
never thought of it that way. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
and
you did it because of the barbecue business.
no, I mean, but that came after I changed.
Oh, okay. Are you still
And
doing that? Are you
oh
still?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed your ribs when I had my 40th. No, it was my 60th birthday party that you provided
Ah,
the ribs for me. Yeah.
oh yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Like, and
I showed you
I take
love.
that personal just like I do comedy. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna try to make sure it's great.
Yeah, it was good. It was
It's
good.
gonna
They
stand
they
out from
were
everybody else,
seasoned.
and
They were
yeah,
seasoned, and I'm not just pulling your leg. They were
right.
that everybody was talking about how great they were. And I tried to find your monkey butt another time, but I don't know. Guess
I
you was
mean,
on the
Shawty,
move and running from the law and stuff.
no, no,
Your
I don't
body's
chill
caught
down.
up with you. Your body's caught up with you.
No, I don't have to run no more.
Oh, you ain't got to run no more.
No, I ain't gotta
You a
run no more.
granddaddy now, so
Yeah, I'm
you
chilling
just sit
now.
around and sing Negro spirituals. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Now let me ask you, how was it to take Def Jam your first time?
The first time that I was supposed to take Def Jam, I was pregnant, so I turned it down. And
Oh,
then after it took 5 years later for me to be awarded the opportunity to do it, and that I taped during the time when Jamie, when they were changing
oh,
hosts,
okay.
and
Yeah,
Jamie
from
Foxx ended up being my host, and at that time
uh,
Jamie's star was rising, so
right, right,
you know, and so that was a good thing to be on.
right. Now, how was it taping Comic View?
Well, Comic View was a staple for us, and I
Right,
did Comic View five, six, 7 times.
right,
So and that was what kept me relevant while everybody else was taping Def Jam, doing uh the Comic View and doing other little side shows that they had on TV. And so of course Comic View and that was back during the time when we weren't really getting any money. We
right.
was getting that little 150,
150.
$150, but you couldn't beat
That's
the
right.
publicity because they
That's
they had
right.
us all over everything. So
Right.
that was
I remember my first time taping was at the Atrium.
hmm
And they put me my material, they used to call it blue.
blue
So
moon. Yeah.
they put me the last comedian on that night. And my homeboy was in the he was actually in the booth
Hmm.
working with BET. And they let me roll. So when I got to like 5.5, 6 minutes, I'm like, okay, the light finna come. But it never came.
Really?
So yeah, they let me roll. And he was like, man, the only reason they stopped you is because they ran out of tape.
Wow.
And I was like, hold on. So they feeling me like that. And then of course we was in Decatur
Hmm.
at the Atrium. So that was really
Yeah,
prime for me.
that was very prime for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the next year, they showed me a lot too because that was when Ricky hosted.
Ricky. Yeah.
Yeah, and we was at center stage, I think. And
Yeah. Somewhere.
man, they turned me loose and they showed me a lot. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever been booed?
Of course, of course, everybody's been booed. They say they haven't. They're lying. They got off the stage before they could get booed.
Right,
But and not because I was doing a bad show. There may have been other circumstances,
right,
because every night we hit that stage, we're not at our best.
right,
Sometimes we got to fake the funk and get through a set,
right,
because I don't know. A lot of people don't know that the saddest place in the world is behind stage with a bunch of comics, because everybody's got their own issues, and we're,
right,
we're so busy trying to make everybody else happy that we don't know how to make
right,
ourselves happy. So
right,
it's a tremendous load on your shoulders,
right,
and sometimes sometimes it's the extenuating circumstances, like the show not starting on time.
right,
You
right.
don't develop an attitude,
Yeah,
because you're sitting there waiting, and the DJ want to be important, the other comics want to be important. They're letting people come up. Nobody's monitoring how long they're being up there. And then they want you to come on and be to a crowd that's tired, ready to
right,
pay their bill, got to go to work the next day, and they're supposed to be coming to see you. Now they don't care whether you're funny or not. They're wore out.
right.
And if
And
you go on stage, there have been a lot of times I've gone on stage and I've taken it out on the audience.
right,
Not in a harsh way, but
right, right. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
you know. So,
If I,
and then
if I,
some people think that that's excuse me, that's really your persona, but they don't know all the extenuating circumstances that
right,
surrounded your not being able to do your craft.
right.
But yeah, it ain't no good thing to be booed. And I ain't been booed all the way to the point where they followed me out to the parking lot. But out there, they got it written on your window,
Right.
boo,
Yeah.
boo, coming boo. But
I know.
no, just and I've had shows where they just weren't feeling me,
Right. Right.
but they're being nice enough to just sit there.
Right.
And
Yeah.
those were basically like when I first moved to New York. Me being southern,
Right. Right.
and I didn't know anything about the Jewish culture or anything like the New York. I didn't know about Jamaicans. I didn't know about any of that. All I knew was the South, the
Right.
dirty, dirty. Not even
Right.
like Atlanta South. I'm talking about deep South, where white folks run things and black folk glad they did.
Right.
And going up there and you trying to perform in front of and at Caroline's to an all white audience,
Right.
because you had to go on a Monday night to prove yourself. And it's an
Right.
all white audience, and the guy before you, he's doing um, Jewish jokes, and they are laughing. I was like, well, dang. And he was so boring to me. But
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, if they laughing at them, I'm finna tear this place up.
Right.
And they're looking at me like grits was just dropping out. There go grits on this side. There go cornbread. Here go collard greens. It's coming out. It was like it was culture shock all the way.
Right.
I,
Like I remember my first time going to Carolines, and they kind of like my dialect was so
yeah, the
fascinating to
dialect
them.
was it
You know
was
what I mean?
they enjoyed that, because they were like, does
Right.
she really talk like this? Is this a character? This, but I had to learn to overcome and adapt, and I
Right.
had to learn it quickly, because even the blacks had a hard time,
Right. Right.
but after a while they got used to it, and that's when the joke stealing began. But
Yes, Lord. Man. Like I remember when I first started, we all had our own style.
yeah,
Nobody was trying to be like nobody else. So we could cheer for each other.
yeah,
But
yeah.
then when I came back, when I started slowing down on the road with Bruce and I started hosting backstage,
Hmm.
I started seeing how everybody had started stealing everybody's style.
Everybody wanted to be somebody else. And
Right. And I was like, and it
it was
was vets. I'm like, how y'all vets that started out when I did? Pimp, we've been in the game 15, 16 years now.
strange.
You ain't learned how to write your own material.
Well,
So
the thing about it is, people think that um you sit around and you're playing cards and you're at a family reunion and you with your buddies and you make a few snaps and
Right.
people laugh.
Right.
They think, oh shoot, I can take this to the stage. But they don't take the time to think about the fact that you have all these people sitting in front of you with coming from different ethnicities, coming from different lifestyles, backgrounds, whatever, and you got to bring all these people together
That's right.
as and take them on that trip with you.
That's right.
All they want to do is just get up there and tell jokes. They're
Right.
not trying to relate to the people. They don't know about talking to the people, asking people questions, bringing them into your world. All they know is getting up there, doing the joke. No, no, uh, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Camaraderie. No,
Right.
no. You got to know how to bring the people to you. You
That's
know,
right.
engage with the people so that when they leave out, even if they don't know your name, they'll know a joke.
Right. Right.
And a lot of comics don't realize how many comedy aficionados there are out there who
That's right.
know jokes.
That's
Oh
right.
no, that ain't their joke. That joke
Yeah.
belongs to this
Yeah.
person. And they
Right.
forget that people have been watching Comic View. People have been watching Def Jam.
Right.
People have been watching Bounce TV. They've been watching all these comedy shows for years. So they know
That's
where a
right.
joke came from, most of them, you know?
Right.
So it's just
Like,
crazy the way this business is.
like I actually watched us go from having no respect at all to
Hmm.
having the funniest comedians in the country
Hmm.
to having the biggest player haters in the country to having the biggest joke thieves in the country.
Yeah.
And when I seen that, I'm like, "Doc, what is y'all doing? Like, have y'all lost the urge?" And that kind of discouraged me a whole lot. Like when I was hosting backstage, I was never really doing my material
Hmm.
because I was scared somebody gonna take it and go somewhere else out of town. And then when they found out you at their show out of town, they be like, "Hey man, how long you been here?" I've been here long enough to hear you do my shit.
Hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I actually had somebody call me from Columbia, South Carolina, and when I started, with nobody style like mine,
Hmm.
and they called me and said, "Black, just listen to this. They doing your joke right here, word for word." And they played it on the speakerphone, and I was like, "This is sad, man. This
Well,
is sad."
when they get in a rut, you know, they don't know what to do. And when,
Right,
a lot of comics will sit down and watch your style,
right,
watch how, and that's really how most of them learn anyway. There's nothing wrong with that. The wrong comes in when they emulate you
right,
instead
right.
of trying to just study the craft and see how you go, or see how you use segues, see how you bring a joke, use callbacks, see how you just get up there and keep the show going. It takes a very long time to make a 45-minute set.
Yeah, it do. Yes, it
People
do.
think because they stand on stage and talk for 45 minutes, they're
Right.
a headliner.
Nah, hell no.
If you're a headliner, then I must be a super, 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 super calidocious comic because
Right,
I can stand up there and talk 3 hours.
right.
But the thing is, keeping those people's attentions for that 45 minutes, they don't understand that I I just it's comics have egos now.
Right. Yeah. Oh my
So
God. Yeah.
you can't tell them anything. You can't go to them and say, "Hey, if you do it like this, it's like who are you to tell me something? We on the same show." Yeah, we on the same show, but
Right.
you can't walk 2 steps in my shoes.
Right.
You can't even put
Right.
your foot in my shoes. They might be the same size that you wear, but you
Right.
cannot wear the shoes that I wear because if you really think about it, we're the forerunners for them.
That's right.
We the one that came and kicked the doors in.
That's
We're
right.
the ones that got people to start liking black comedy. When that black comedy explosion happened in the 80s,
Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
jumped off of the the mainstream rooms and jumped on that black comedy explosion. Another detriment to my career because
Right, right.
it's hard for me to get back into the white clubs now. Because after Def Jam,
What?
yeah, after Def Jam, you build a
Yeah,
Def Jam
yeah,
comic.
yeah.
And it was only them trying to limit the number of people, black people that they allowed to come in until they realized black comedy was making a lot of money
Right,
on the
right.
off nights, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. When we had that. Remember when they had that creative tour?
Yeah, yeah.
You were
We
out
done
there
talk.
for
Yeah.
3 weeks,
Yes, sir.
and now $300 a pop. That was
Right.
good money back then.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
headliner got $300.
yeah.
And you went 2 hours away to different parts down south,
Right.
North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia.
Yep.
You know,
Started up
everybody
in
wanted to be on that.
it started in Richmond, Virginia, and
Yeah, all
came
the
all the way
way.
down through Atlanta, went to Memphis, and I
All
think
different
it
ways.
stopped in Augusta, I think.
Well, they had different ways to go because I know at one point
Yeah.
I was going all the way up to Ohio and coming back down,
Damn.
but they don't know. I mean, we made it too easy for them, and
Right.
they don't show us any homage. They don't care. It's like it's almost like they look at you as if you're a has been,
Right. Right.
you know.
Right.
But
Like
hey,
my homeboy asked me one time, he was like, Black, how you feel about street comedy now and how these young boys getting all this money and you the one kind of created that shit? And I was like, I said, Pimp, I can't come out and say that. You know what I mean? 'Cause people think I'm trying to get back on stage or I'm just hating. I
mm-hmm,
say, but I did what I was supposed to do.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? Like I always give Doodoo Brown and TK Kirkland they props because if it wasn't for them, ain't no way in the hell I'd have been able to do what I was doing.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? So they was the ones that I looked up to. And TK taught me how to be smooth with it.
mm-hmm.
And Doodoo just taught me how to not give a damn. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So I kind of found my middle way to make the things that I talked about kind of go over. But then, like I say, now I don't even know if I don't even know if I would want to do it because the game done changed so much. And the last time I went to Uptown, I sat there and watched the comedians looking around trying to see who noticing them.
yeah.
I'm like, so everybody's Hollywood now? Like they actually walked by me about 20 times. Just
It's crazy.
I'm like,
It's I don't know. There's like I say, you can't talk to them. You can talk to some of them
right,
if you can catch
right,
them before they get into cliques and get into all this back and forth about who is this and who is that and this one's funny and that one's funny. How can another comic tell you whether or not you funnier than somebody else
right,
and they still doing what they're doing?
right,
You know,
right,
no matter how much you try to reach back and help comics, some of them don't want your help
right.
because, like I say, they figure, well, you doing the same shows I'm doing. How can you help me? I'm, and don't let them get a credit that you didn't get. Oh my God,
Oh yeah, boy.
you can't tell them nothing now. You know,
Right.
so it's crazy. So all you can do is be you and continue to do because I know it might sound braggadocious or whatever, but I know comedy and I am comedy
Yeah.
in my mind.
Right. Right.
I'm one of the ones that can do it to it.
Right.
I
mean,
know
and
I've been a queen of comedy, but in
right.
somebody's mind, I am.
Right. I mean, you've been able to stay relevant since the 70s.
Yes, yeah.
Like
And
like that
just
ain't
think,
no
my joke, Little Red Riding Hood, 45 years, and people still laughing at it. And they got it all over TikTok.
hell
How many comics
nah.
can say that?
Right. Right. That's an honor.
A lot of people got jokes that don't even make it around 285
That's right. That's right.
for a year.
That's right. That's right.
So, I've done my carbon footprint.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm not tired yet. I'm not done yet. As long as I have breath and God allows me to go up and down this road, I'm going to keep trying to make people laugh. Because,
Right.
I mean, I've had other jobs. I was in the military. I worked at an oil company in New York. I taught school. But this is what I love. And this is what I do best. Because
Right.
this is what I put all my heart and my
Right.
love for the game and the people and the power, because
Right.
it's power, just
Yeah.
sitting there holding that microphone
That's right.
and being able to control a whole room of people just
That's
with
right.
your voice.
That's
That's
right.
power.
That's right.
Power, and they don't know it. It's a
Right.
rush, just like drugs. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke, but
You ain't never smoked, never drunk, nothing.
yeah,
Nah.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, natural. I used to be Pepsi, but I stopped Pepsi during COVID.
That's
I'm a ginger
amazing.
ale woman now.
And see me, I've been smoking weed
Yeah,
majority of my
the
life.
most of the majority of y'all have.
I'm talking
Somebody,
about,
they either drink or smoke or
yeah.
do both.
I'm not a big drinker, but smoking, man, I've been smoking like a chimney for let me see, I'm 51.
Yeah, because you used to be light
About
skinned.
30.
Why do you think they
Yeah.
call you black boy? You used to be light skinned and mud.
Yeah, I've been smoking weed like a chimney for 30 some years, man.
That's
So
a shame, and still ain't got it right.
no,
You should
I'm
have been not
cool.
perfected it by now.
I promise you I have.
Oh
You
my
know what I
God.
mean? I promise
You
you
do
I
the
have.
edibles? Do you do the edibles?
No,
Oh,
no. Because I don't know what type weed you got in there. I don't know how much weed you got in there. And I don't trust people like that.
so do you just basically go to one specific person so that you can trace it back in case something goes
Yeah.
wrong?
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
okay.
much. Like
But
I
most
got one
people don't do
person,
that, right?
right. But I got one person I've been dealing with for the last 10 years. And
So if something
before
don't go
him,
right, then you know who to go looking for.
right.
Okay.
And
That
then,
I think
but
that's the way it should be with everybody, but some
right,
people don't care. They come
right,
in town,
right,
that's the first person they looking for, and the way they're lacing stuff now, I don't
right. That's
like.
right. And
Oh,
I'm
some
not
people,
that trusting. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I don't
Especially
know.
if I don't know you, I'm just gonna take it that you telling me the truth of
Yeah,
what's in here.
what's
Nah,
in
I'm
there?
not.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm
they're
not that
lacing
trusting.
it with this, that, or the other. That fentanyl ain't playing, is
Right, right. And see me, I don't want to be the highest nigga in the room because
it?
I got to keep my eye on every nigga in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like to just be mellow. I don't like to be high. I just like to be mellow. Well, I ain't studying shit, but I
Well,
don't nah. Cause
I get mellow on good music. That's me.
yeah, I love music
I don't
too.
need, and my mama ran a juke joint, so I never. I thought beer looked like pee. I didn't like the way liquor smelled, and so, but I would drink every Pepsi she had. But
Right. And my mama was a big Pepsi fan too. She loved, and my sister's
oh
a
my,
Pepsi
please tell
girl.
them to stop because
Hey
they're
man, I'm a
killing me.
Coke. I was a Coke man until recently.
Yeah, well, COVID got me off Pepsi. I finally tasted what it really tasted like when
Right,
I drank one when I had COVID. I had COVID for like 16 days. Well, I was on quarantine for 16 days. I didn't have the classic symptoms. I
right,
just had like the congestion, and I had a fever for like 2 days, but never over 100. And
right,
I still get the fatigue and the mental fog sometimes, but
right.
I tell you, I don't want to have it again.
Oh man, I'm glad you made it back, Shawty,
I'm
because
glad I am too.
man, I
It
done seen
never
some.
got it never got me down like the way people
Right,
talk about,
right,
they couldn't
right,
breathe or they couldn't. I was really making myself sick because I have an overactive imagination
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
a hypochondriac. So
right,
anything that come
right.
out, I don't care if it's prostate, I think I got it. So,
Hell nah.
I'm a hypochondriac. So every time a new symptom came out, I was like, oh God, this gonna be it. You know.
Right,
But I created while I was down and not being able to get out on the road because of course, we taped Netflix back in October 2020, and
right,
they released it Black History Month, February, Black
Oh,
History
okay.
Month. And so by that time, COVID had reared its ugly head again, and they kind of
Right.
shut us back down a little bit.
Right.
So I was determined that I wasn't going to get back out there yet. And I
Right.
was, and
Right.
then when I was supposed to, which was August during my birthday weekend, I caught COVID 4 days before my birthday. So I had to cancel
Hell
two
no.
shows uh, right then. And while I was doing that, I was like, I got to do something to stay relevant. On everybody else that had taped with me, they were doing shows everywhere. They was still being visible and whatever. And so what I did was I created two, not podcasts, Zoomcasts, where on Friday nights had a show called Mask, Making All Souls Kindred Spirits, where we
Okay.
talked about serious subjects. And
Right.
on Sundays, I did Cougar Chronicles, where we talked about subjects, but we kind of made it a little lighter. But
Right.
even with Cougar Chronicles, the subjects we talk about, we try to bring little comical things to talk about.
Right.
But
Right.
the people won't let it be comical. They still, what I found out about this black boy is people had lost their their gift of communication
Right. Right.
because COVID
Right.
made it so they couldn't be around family.
Right.
They couldn't
Right.
be around anybody. They couldn't go to the hospital to be with their people. They
Right.
couldn't go see their people. You couldn't get out. You were basically stuck in the house. And people wanted to talk
Right.
and
Right.
let people know how they were feeling and see how other people feel and let people know that they still existed. So the forums that I had and the kind of subjects we talked about, people come on and we go for 2 hours and people still want to be on. I have to cut it off and say, hey,
Right.
it's 9 o'clock. We go for
Right.
6 to 9,
Right.
but if they could, they will still be talking. And then it don't be that many people, but
Right.
it's consistent people,
Right. Right.
but that's what kept me relevant doing those kind of things. I found a group of ladies out of California who produce my shows for me because I'm not computer savvy. I don't know
Right.
all the ins and outs of Zoom.
Boy, me either. I act like I do, but I don't know shit about this shit, man. I literally have to teach myself.
Well, I can't do that because I'm not computer savvy. I know how to log on, play a game, log off. So
Right.
they do all the like mine's 420. When you go 420,
Right.
that's your area
Right.
420. But
Oh yeah.
they have been very they've been a great help in getting me out there. And so now we're about to launch my third Zoomcast, Miss
Okay.
Jiggity Jokes Juke Joint, where
Hell
we're
nah.
we're gonna make it like back in the day, like in life.
Right.
And,
Right.
we're gonna have comics come on. We're gonna have musicians. We're gonna have make it look like the Boom Boom Room that Eddie talked
Right.
about.
Right.
Ray Gibson talked about. And
Right.
every Wednesday night for 2 hours, we'll have a main comic and have up and coming comics, have features. We're going to interview the comics. We're going to talk about the comedy business and, just things that people really didn't know about comedy because people make assumptions
Right.
about us.
Right.
And when they hear the real story about what's going on, you know, then it becomes more personable for them.
Right.
And so that's with me laying around for 16 days because you're on quarantine. It was the
Right.
loneliest time of my life
Oh my
because
god.
everybody in my family had gotten vaccinated but me. And
Right.
when I popped positive, oh my god, even though they had gotten their shots, it was like you gonna
Right.
kill all us. You need to go get that shot. You need to do it. And man, it was like they would treat me like I had the plague. So
Hell no.
you're homebound.
Right.
You can't go anywhere. You ain't got nobody to talk to. So I just laying there and it came to me, do a podcast, do this,
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
And so that's how it was born. And we've been going pretty strong. We've been off the past 2 weeks because of the holiday and just to give me a little rest, But
Right.
we will resume on December 5th.
Okay. Well, Miss Chandra Rock said, "What's up, Barbara?"
Oh, hey.
And Stacks, I see you, baby. You talking about you don't smoke no more. You used to be my smoking partner,
Oh,
but that's just me talking. Let me ask you this: you enjoy headlining, featuring, or hosting? Which one you enjoy the most?
headlining.
Headlining.
And I can get off on the hosting a bit too. I don't like featuring because you know for yourself that once you're used to doing 45, 50,
Oh
60
yeah,
minutes, it's
boy.
hard to
Yeah.
cut it down because once you get on that roll, it's hard to stop it, you know.
Right.
So I really can do without the featuring, but I headlining or hosting,
Okay.
but I prefer headlining.
Now, if you wasn't doing comedy, what would you be doing?
Stripping. No, I'm just kidding. No, if I wasn't doing comedy, oh my God, what would I be doing? Probably writing books because I like to write as well. I've been keeping a journal since high school. So
So have you wrote a book?
no, I start and then I get all of a sudden I'll get writer's block,
Right.
and
Right.
my stories always I always fashion them around whoever I'm dating at the time.
Right.
And so when we break up, I don't know where to take the characters, so I just put it aside. But one day I'm gonna take the time to just sit down and just write a book because I had so many thoughts going into my head. You know
Right.
how crazy we are because
Oh yeah.
you
Yeah.
realize comedians are very multi-dimensional.
Yes.
I mean,
Boy, I tell
a
people that
lot of
all the time.
comics can sing, dance, and do comedy.
Yeah.
They write music. I wish, oh my gosh, if I could play a piano, you wouldn't be able to tell me nothing. I'd be, I would be, I'd be a bitch in this business.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
people would perceive me as that because you wouldn't. Oh my God, if I could play an instrument and do comedy,
Right.
like
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx and some of them other people
Oh my
that can do that
God.
kind of stuff. Oh my God.
Right. Right. Like I tried
I can't
rapping
sing.
and
Yeah, I can't say I can carry a tune, but if I if I knew how to play the piano or guitar, you wouldn't tell me nothing.
right.
You
And
couldn't
I
tell
got
me.
I got a couple of books I want to write. I was just talking to my little
But you
buddy.
just now learning how to do your name, right?
Right, right. I
Right.
mean, it still take me a little while, but I can get it. And then I
Okay.
learned how to copy and paste a little bit.
Copy and paste. Okay.
So I
Get
can
somebody else. You write the book. You can dictate it on a thing and have somebody else type it up.
right.
You know that, right?
And actually somebody my buddy that I did a podcast with at 1 o'clock, she told me that I could talk into Word
Yeah.
and it'll type it out
It'll
for me.
type it for you.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Now I might go on and do the book because that's been my
But
hold up.
what
Like
kind
I
of
don't.
books would you do? Would you do like fiction, nonfiction? Would it be autobiographical?
I want to do an autobiography because
Uh-huh.
I've done a whole lot, and
Yeah.
I would love to write a book about my mama
Oh, okay.
because my mama was a very unique lady.
Yeah.
Like she didn't play the radio, and I
Mm.
know that's where my sense of humor, my attitude, and everything came from.
Same with me. My mom was a card. She ran a juke
Man,
joint. Oh my God, she was something.
I can talk about her ass for days.
Oh God,
Cause
yeah,
she would fight, she would and was the smallest damn thing that you'll ever
really.
see. But she didn't play the radio. She helped raise all her little sisters and brothers and
Same as
man.
my mom.
And
Are you from Atlanta? Are you from Decatur and all that?
nah, I'm from Monroe, Georgia.
Monroe,
But I
where
will
Dirty South is from.
yeah, yeah, and
Did you know Dirty?
she tell everybody.
You know.
Anytime I'm anywhere that she is, she makes sure everybody know that I'm from Walton County. But I never lived there. Like
Oh,
we were so country. They stayed in Atlanta before I was born. They
mhm.
went all the way to Monroe to have me. And when
Wow,
she got out of the hospital, she came right back.
wow.
Just like when we was little, we used to go down there every week or every 2 weeks so she can get her hair done. Like my uncle owned the pool hall. My granddaddy was the deacon at the church, played the piano for years. So we still went to church down there and
Mhm.
everything for many, many years, man.
Wow, wow.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you the one thing that it might seem crazy, but I used to love to watch my granddaddy. Like he grew his own food, and this is what got me into it. He
Mm-hmm.
grew his own food, and he used to be able to go out into his garden and bring enough food for all his kids. He had 13 kids,
Golly.
and he would bring enough food for his kids and their family. And I'm like, that was always so amazing to me.
Yeah, but that's how they learned to live off the land back then.
Right.
They were so the the things that they knew without going to school, just innate things. Whereas, that's why I don't understand how white people get the concept that black people are lazy and this and whatever when
Nah,
they worked
nah.
super hard
Right,
to make sure that their seed had a lot more than they had, you
right.
know.
But see, white people like to call us lazy because they done stole everything from us.
Yes, yes,
You
they
know what I
stole
mean? They done
everybody
stole
thunder.
everything from us. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother topic that I can get into. But like I've been pro black all my life.
Yeah, you couldn't. You
It,
had no choice.
right.
I mean, you and shoe polish. I mean, what can you expect?
Hey, now let me ask you this: how was it taping Netflix?
Oh
I
my
know.
God, it was a dream come true. It's something out of the unexpected. When I got that call from Tiffany, it was
Right,
like so surreal. And I know I use that word a lot, but it was, man. You spend your whole life thinking that you're going to be saved by a leprechaun or something, but then a black
right,
unicorn comes,
right,
rides in, and gives you just wakes up your comedy because as I said, the funnier you are, the more they like to keep you, push
that's
you
right,
back,
that's right, that's
especially if you're a woman, which is this is only my perception.
right,
Other women might think differently because they're working,
right,
but when I had to carve out niches and to keep being relevant because you had people out there that were intentionally
right,
trying to hold you back.
right,
But I'd always find a little hole that I could dodge around and get in to do what I had to do. And it kept me the one thing it did do, especially when I didn't do the Def Jam in the earlier years when Martin was on or whatever,
right,
it made me go back to writing
right,
because I had gotten lazy, you know.
right,
So that's the one thing it did for me. And people might think that things happen for them because it's supposed to happen for them, eh, you
right,
know, because they're so great, but
right,
things happen for you when God wants things to happen for you.
right, right,
And it's like, well, you've been in the business 44 years and you ain't got no further than this. This is mostly what I hear from my family. You
right.
know, who are the biggest haters in the world because
Oh
they're
yeah,
jealous
yeah.
that because I choose to have a career that could, that I control myself.
Right,
I
right,
didn't have to
right,
punch a clock. If
right,
I decided I didn't want to go tell a joke, I didn't have to get out of my bed.
right,
Whereas whether they were sick or whatever, they had to go clock in and
right.
do 8 hours. I didn't have to do that. And, I was forever hearing, oh, well, you ain't got no job. And no, I got a job. I ain't got no 401k. I ain't got no,
Right, right,
saved up
right,
timer. But, I make more money in 1 hour than a lot of
right.
people make in
Yep,
a whole week or sometimes a whole month if I hit
yep.
that right lick, if I
That's
go
right.
overseas or
That's
whatever,
right.
you know.
That's right.
So I know it was mostly a jealousy thing that I, from childhood, I followed what I said I was going to do.
Right, right,
Nobody was going to stop me. Your
right,
criticism wasn't going to stop me. You're not putting me on certain shows wasn't going to stop me. You're not accepting the fact that I was just as funny as some of the males, but you got me in the middle of the show and you won't even let me do that little bit of time. You know,
right, right,
the one thing that was very great about when we taped Netflix was the round table we had after the taping, where we really got to talk about how messed up this business is for us
Right. Right.
as Black comedians, as female comedians, as comedians, you know,
Right.
because people don't know the raw side of it.
Right.
They think it's all
Right.
glitz and glamour, and you just go from it's. And even the show now with Kevin that on Netflix, that True Story.
Right.
Oh my God!
I've been hearing a lot about that. I got to
Oh
check it out.
my goodness! Oh my God! I was looking at it, and I'm only up to like episode 5, but
Oh, so it's
that
a whole
movie,
series.
it's a series, yes,
Okay.
and that
Okay.
movie had me having nightmares
Right.
because
Right.
it was like, oh my God, this could really truly happen for somebody like this.
Right.
You know, the things you have to go to maintain that notoriety and stay on top. And when you
Right.
got people who are trying to bring you down, or people who want to hang on, you got hangers on, you got people who are jealous, you got people who are saying that they're for you, but they're really against you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's crazy. We wear the mask.
Right. Did you know Tiffany had been watching you? Or
No, well,
it,
Tiffany, I met Tiffany on tour. Tiffany and I did. Uh,
okay.
we went to Korea together.
Oh, okay.
Me, her, and a Korean comic out of California, Tina Kim.
Okay.
Um, we were over in Seoul, Korea, for 3 weeks, entertaining the troops, and that's where I met Tiffany. She hadn't been in the business that long.
Right. Right.
I mean, she had started doing the business when she was younger, but I'm saying she wasn't on the road at like that. When
Right.
Tiffany came over there, it was more about her dancing and whatever, her show. She had jokes, but they were structured.
Right.
So
Right.
we would sit and talk about, hey, do this here, do that, take this out, whatever. And I've never had a problem trying to help comics
Right.
because I've always been a supporter of
That's
female
right.
comics, but
That's
they
right.
don't, and male comics. I work
Right.
with
Right.
anybody, but you know, um, so she would come and we'd talk, and then, closer when it was time for us to leave, we made a pact that if one of us made it, now deep down inside, I'm thinking, shit, I done been out here too long.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and make this oath, but
Right.
and I know it's better.
Right.
The chances of you making it before me are better.
Right.
That
Right.
if one of us made it, we would reach back and get the other. And so when the first season happened, and she didn't call, I was like, oh, she lied to me.
Right.
But then I found out that she basically they picked the people the first season to see
Right.
how it would be. She was able to get one of her people on, one or two of her people on, but that next season she got to pick all 6 of the people.
Oh,
It
okay.
was wonderful, and I didn't know the 2 ladies, but I knew, of course, I knew the guys because I had
Oh,
worked with all of them in New York, or on all the different tapings. So
right. And like I've gave a lot of comedians little tidbits to their show. Like I listen to them and I'll be like, look, pimp, you add this here work. And then they'll try. They'll be like, hey, Black, that work for real. I'll be like, pimp, I know the game. It's all about timing and delivery.
timing and delivery
You know
and
what I mean?
subject
And
matter,
stack,
because
yep,
a lot
yep,
of them think that all they need to get up, and they got to understand that you got to do stuff that's relative to everybody,
right,
not
right,
just your
right,
locality. You
right,
can't do the same jokes in Decatur
right,
that you do in New York, because
right.
people from New York don't know about
That's
Decatur.
right. That's
But
right.
it's hard for them to get that in their head. They would rather say people are hating than to realize,
Right.
they don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
Shouty.
Yeah. That's
Everybody's
right.
got their shouty, yo, 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 it's just, I don't know. I don't know. To
Yeah.
each his own. I mean, I can't tell
Right.
nobody how to write a joke. I can offer my help, but if they don't want it, it ain't my fault.
Right.
You know.
And then I'm not gonna hold you all day. We gave them an hour.
Oh, did we? Dang,
Yes, an
time
hour
flies
and
when you're having fun.
that's right, an hour and 5 minutes right now.
Oh, okay.
But before we go, give out
Hmm.
all your tags, all the stuff you got coming up, and
You
all
mean
that
my
good stuff.
skin tags? Oh no,
Yeah, them too.
my moles. Okay, I'm on Instagram. Barbara Eyes Funny. That's EYEZ. Barbara Eyes Funny. That's Instagram. I'm on Barbara Carlyle. I think it's supposed to be .7 for Facebook, but it's just Barbara Carlyle on Facebook. You'll see my picture. A lot of Barbara Carlyles. I don't know where they all came from.
Right,
And I'm not on Twitter because I don't understand Twitter.
right, right.
Is there anything left? I'm on TikTok, but I've never done anything on there. I have thousands of friends, but I haven't posted a video. But
Right.
because so many people are on there doing my
Oh
jokes,
my God.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to learn how to do the dual thing.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
side by side thing where
Right.
I critique what they did or how they did it
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
try to get on because and I'm gonna start trying to be relevant on there, do a lot more. I didn't realize that you could do videos on Instagram and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to get a lot more. The girls, like I say, the ladies out, and I keep calling them the girls because they're younger than me. But the ladies out in California, like mine, they're slowly acclimating me to the internet and whatever. But yeah,
Right.
but I really
What's
enjoyed myself. Thank you
what
so
shows you got coming up? You gonna be
Um,
anywhere in
well, this weekend, December 3rd, I'll be in Jacksonville at a
okay.
place. I can't even think of the place. I can't even think of it, but it's posted on my Facebook page, and I have it on
Okay.
Instagram. But I'll be there. And then I don't know what's coming because, like I say, because of COVID, I haven't really gotten back out there. But
Right.
2022, I'm going to be all over the place unless this new, um, this new strain
Right.
gets us put back in again, and then you'll just have to come to my podcast, my Zoomcast,
I'm
Mask. That's
right.
MASKS. We're on from 7 to 9 p.m. every Friday.
Okay.
I'm on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Barbara Carlyle Official. So you can go and look at all the past shows we've done. Um, and on Sundays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I do Cougar Chronicles. So
Cougar Chronicles.
yeah, our first show was on Cougar Chronicles was Should Side Chicks Form a Union? We were trying to be funny, but those women were
Right.
taking it serious. They was like, "Yeah, we need a union. They don't understand. It ain't just us." I was like, "Oh my god,
Oh my God. Like they done got serious about being a
yes,
side
yes,
chick.
yes." I mean, but
Uh,
we found out some good, interesting things because
right.
I was a side chick at one point, and I
Yeah.
didn't know. You don't know until
Right.
you know,
Right.
because y'all know how y'all lie.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And
Yeah.
by the time you find out the truth, you thinking you in love or whatever. So,
Right.
and then you start making excuses. Well, that's her problem. It's not my problem.
Right.
And he's having his cake and he it too. So,
Right.
you but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to check out that Cougar Chronicles and see what y'all
Yeah,
talking about.
check out Mass because we talk about
Okay.
serious subjects. We've talked about walking in your destiny. We talked about our first show was about the pandemic. People came on and was talking about all the different things they took and to keep from taking the shot and what
Right.
happened when they did take the shot and how scary it was and all that. And then we've done betrayal, we've done grief. So Friday night is if you're not into something serious where people are coming on talking, don't come to mask.
Right.
If you want to laugh and really we do laugh on mask. Or sometimes some
Okay.
people will say some stuff, but on Cougar Chronicles we really get down. But do
Yeah.
check out. Miss Jokety Juke joint coming to you in
Okay.
2022. And we're gonna
Yeah.
have you on there, even though you're not
Yes.
no more. But we gotta
Yeah.
have you
I
talk
mean,
about your transition from telling
right.
jokes to slinging ribs.
Right. Like I would love to do a comedy show and serve them food at the same time. Like I talked to Carlos Miller about this. And
Oh,
hey, Red,
really?
I see you, Red. That's my sister on there. I
Okay.
talked to Carlos about I want to host a show from behind the grill. Like
Oh,
I want to be serving people while I'm doing my, a little monologue. But then when I bring people up to the stage, I'm still behind the grill and I'm serving food.
as if you
And
were behind like a DJ.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yep.
sounds good. Yeah,
As if you hear
passing the buck.
if you see anybody do that, you know where the idea came from.
Yeah, I know that the idea came from you, Papa
Right.
Black. Yeah.
Amen. And
Yeah.
I appreciate you being on here.
Well, thank you for thinking of me because it took
Come
you
on.
forever to do it. It's like Papa
No.
Carlyle, maybe. Yeah.
No. Boy, I had to have it set
Woo.
up for you because you one of the
Mm.
ones I have respect for.
Okay, one
And
of the
see,
ones.
yeah, I'm saying it's a few. It's a
It's a
few.
few. It's a few.
Yeah. But see, the reason I'm doing this is to give the people that I know
Hmm.
haven't got they just do.
Yeah.
I want to try to give it to them. So
Well,
whatever
thank
I
you for
can do
giving me my
to,
flowers and
hey
giving me
man,
my hour to
right?
enjoy myself. And I'm glad you asked pertinent questions because
Oh, of
people
course,
people want to hear all the glitz and glamour. They don't want to know the downright and dirty.
right,
And
right,
when they know the downright and dirty, they finally realize that you are human.
right, right. And this is a grind. This
It
is a
is a
this
grime
is a
and a
grind.
grimy business,
Yes, yes. I tell people, entertainment is the worst business in the
but
world
it's
because
also
everybody.
the best business.
Yes, yes. If you hit your lick, you in now.
Or you lick your hit.
well,
Mm,
well, look here, man. We'll keep going all motherfucking day. But whenever you want to come back or whenever you're doing something, let me know.
I
Anytime you
most
need
certainly
me, boom,
will.
right here. Like I still got the urge. I still write. I found my very first joke book.
Oh, did you?
I found my very first joke book and all that. And like I said, I still write and all that good shit, man. So if you ever need
Well,
anything,
why you don't ever try to give your stuff to some of these comics that are out here that need it?
let
Shoot.
me let me let me tell you. And I know he might be listening, but I have a cousin
Mm-hmm.
that is the young version of me.
Really?
And he got a little group on Facebook. He's straight clown in it. And
Mm-hmm.
I told him, I say, cuz, if you ever want to get into this, I can make you whatever you want to be.
Really?
Cause
Is he afraid?
he's well, he said he don't know about doing stand-up.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want to force him to do it.
No, don't force him because
You know
he'll
what I mean?
get
But if
burnt
he
out
ever get
quick.
the urge, yeah, if he ever get the urge, and then like me, I had my day in the spotlight. Now I just want to be in the back, helping whoever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I find somebody that I think serious enough, I wouldn't mind helping them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I even thought about getting into managing and all that because this is a grime ass game.
It is. It
And you
is.
gotta have somebody that's gonna stand up for your ass for real. Because if you don't, people will sell your ass out in a minute.
And
You know
but
what I
too,
mean?
you got to have people who realize that they got to know that you want do
Right.
them wrong.
That's
And
right.
a lot of people
That's
don't
right.
want to hear the truth.
That's right. That's right.
They would rather hear lies.
Yeah. Yeah.
There ain't nothing you can do about that.
That's right. And I've been going through that all my life. And people don't got mad at me for telling them the truth. And I'm like, that's the only way, that's the only thing I know how to do.
Well,
You know
I
what I
still
mean?
lie every once in a while. But when it comes to this comedy game, you got to lie to them men every once in a while
Right.
because they try
Right.
to play me. I had to learn how to play myself. You know,
Right. But I ain't gonna hold you, baby. Whenever you need me,
we
I'm
done
here.
said that 20
I
times.
know it, man. And
I'm
we'll
ready to the
and we'll
show.
go into something else and keep on
I know,
talking.
ain't that something? You can't let me go. You ain't like
Right.
them other men. They let me go.
No, I hold on to you.
No, I have, baby, hold
That's
on,
why I'm coming to
baby.
see what them Cougar Chronicles talking about.
Yeah, please come. Come join us December 5th at 7 p.m. Cougar Chronicles. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send you the login
Yes.
on
Yes.
Sun. when I get it Sunday, and
Okay.
come on. We enjoy because we don't get that many men on there. We got
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if you know Kevin Williams out of Chicago. He's one of our
Mm-mm.
resident people who's on for a
Okay.
while, and we have another comic, Corey Smatters. He's a white comic out of North Carolina, but
Okay.
basically it's a bunch of women. But and we need
Right.
the male perspective.
Right. Now you know I'm gonna tell you the truth. So
Yeah, come on, let's hear the truth because the other
okay.
men are scared we gonna male bash them, so they don't
Oh
say much. No, that's not true. They
man.
come on
Oh,
and
okay.
they lend a ear.
Okay.
But
Oh
thank you so very much.
no, and thank
Really
you.
enjoyed it. So
Same to you. And to the people, I just want to thank you once again for tuning in. And y'all know my word. Hey man, y'all be easy.
be easy.
That's
Don't
it.
be greasy because you're looking greasy right now. You look like you're sucking on some
you
ribs.
know, I had to shine up for a minute for you.
Yeah, you done put that on that shea butter. Go ahead now.
Hey,
Go
baby,
ahead.
you take it easy, boy. I
You
love
take
you,
it
man.
easy. Love
All
you,
right.
man.
All
All
right.
right. Bye bye.